Hello, my friends. Today, I am going to tell you about one of the most inspiring and beautiful stories in the world. This story is from the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. It's a story about dreams, courage, and the journey to find your true purpose in life. This is not just a story, it's a lesson for all of us. If you want to improve your English and learn new words while enjoying an amazing story, this is perfect for you. Let's start from the very beginning and take it step by step. Remember, I will explain everything in detail so you understand it easily and enjoy listening. Part 1. The Boy and His Dreams. The story begins in Andalusia, Spain. There is a young boy named Santiago. He is about 16 years old, with bright eyes and a curious mind. Santiago is a shepherd. Do you know what a shepherd is? A shepherd is someone who takes care of sheep. Santiago travels from one place to another with his sheep. He loves his sheep, but Santiago also loves something else, traveling and learning about the world. He carries a book in his bag and reads it when he has time. He also talks to his sheep as if they are his friends. One night, Santiago sleeps in an old, abandoned church. The roof of the church has fallen, so when Santiago looks up, he can see the stars in the sky. He feels peaceful, but something strange happens that night. Santiago has a dream, and it's not an ordinary dream. In this dream, a child appears to him and says, "Santiago, there is a treasure for you. It is hidden in Egypt near the pyramids. Go and find it." Santiago wakes up, confused. He wonders, why did I dream about this treasure? Is it real? Should I go to Egypt? But Santiago does not know the answer. He keeps thinking about the dream for many days. One day, Santiago decides to visit a gypsy woman. A gypsy is someone who can tell the future. She reads people's hands or dreams. Santiago tells her about his dream. He explains everything: the child, the treasure, and the pyramids. The gypsy woman listens carefully. Then she says, "I don't want any money from you, but if you find the treasure, you must give me 10% of it." Santiago is surprised. He asks, "Why do you believe in my dream?" The gypsy replies, "Dreams are the language of God. When he speaks to us in dreams, we must listen." After meeting the gypsy, Santiago feels a little lost. He sits in the marketplace, thinking about his life. Suddenly, an old man appears. He is dressed like a king. The old man introduces himself as Melchizedek, the king of Salem. The old man tells Santiago something amazing. He says, "You have a personal legend. Do you know what that is?" Santiago shakes his head. The old man explains, "A personal legend is your purpose in life. It is what you are meant to do. For you, Santiago, your personal legend is to find the treasure." The old man gives Santiago some advice. When you want something very deeply, the whole universe helps you to achieve it. But you must have courage and follow your dreams. Melchizedek shows Santiago two magical stones, Urim and Thummim. These stones will help Santiago make decisions. One stone means yes, and the other means no. He gives the stones to Santiago and says, "Go follow your dream." Santiago is nervous but excited. Should he leave his comfortable life as a shepherd to chase a dream? Should he sell his sheep and travel to a faraway land? The idea scares him, but he remembers the old man's words. When you want something deeply, the universe will help you. Finally, Santiago decides to be brave. He sells his sheep and takes the money. He is ready to start his journey to Egypt, where the treasure is waiting for him. Part 2. The journey begins. Santiago has made a big decision. He sold his sheep, the animals he has cared for and loved, and now he is ready to begin his adventure to Egypt in search of the treasure from his dream. But how will he begin? Where should he go first? Santiago has no map and doesn't know exactly how to reach the pyramids. Santiago takes a ship to the North African coast, landing in a city called Tangier. It's a busy city filled with people from many different countries. The air smells of spices and the sound of voices fills the streets. Santiago has never seen anything like it before. He feels a little nervous. The city is full of strangers, and Santiago doesn't speak the language very well. He only knows a little Arabic, so communication is hard. He doesn't have any friends here, and he's starting to feel unsure of his decision. What if the treasure is just a dream? What if he has made a mistake? But Santiago remembers what the old king Melchizedek told him. When you want something with all your heart, the universe will help you. So he pushes aside his fear and tries to stay focused on his goal. Santiago walks around the busy streets of Tangier, trying to find someone who can help him. Suddenly, a boy approaches him. The boy says he can help Santiago find the way to the pyramids. Santiago feels relieved and follows him without thinking too much. But as they walk deeper into the city, Santiago is tricked. The boy grabs his bag and runs away with it. Santiago is shocked. He feels betrayed and angry. How could someone take advantage of him like this? He is left with nothing but the clothes on his back. He stands in the middle of the street feeling lost and hopeless. Santiago wonders if he should go back home to Spain. Maybe his dream wasn't real after all. But then he remembers something important, his personal legend. The treasure is still out there. He knows he can't give up now, not after everything he has already sacrificed. Santiago decides not to return home. He will keep going. Santiago starts looking for a way to survive in the city. He has no money, but he knows he can't stop. He looks for work, and soon he finds a job with a man who sells crystals. This man is older and wise. He owns a small shop, and his business is not doing well. His shop is dusty, and he has very few customers. The man asks Santiago to help him clean the shop and sell crystals. Santiago agrees to work, and every day he cleans the shop, organizes the crystals, and tries his best to make the place look more attractive. He also talks to the customers and learns about the crystal business. Santiago realizes that if he helps the man make the shop more successful, he might be able to earn some money to continue his journey. Santiago works hard. He learns how to display the crystals in a way that catches the attention of customers. He starts telling people about the special powers of the crystals. Slowly, but surely, the shop becomes busier. People come in to buy the crystals, and the shop begins to grow. Santiago even convinces the crystal seller to put a sign outside the shop, and more people start to visit. As the shop becomes more successful, Santiago starts to feel proud of his work. He sees that by focusing on his task and using his creativity, he can make things happen. Santiago feels like he is finally doing something right. The crystal shop is doing well, and he is making enough money to continue his journey to Egypt. Santiago starts to realize something very important. As he works with the crystals and helps the shop succeed, he learns about the language of the world. This is a language that everyone speaks, no matter where they come from. It's the language of dreams, the language of signs, the language of nature. For example, when Santiago looks at the sky, he sees the birds flying together. He understands that the birds are not just flying randomly. They are working together, helping each other. In the same way, Santiago realizes that people are connected by their dreams and goals. He understands that by following his dream, he is also helping others. And in return, the world will help him. Santiago feels that he is becoming part of something much bigger than himself. This is the language of the world, the way everything in life is connected. Now Santiago has enough money to continue his journey. He's learned a lot about business, working hard, and following his dreams. But he knows he can't stay forever in Tangier. His heart is still calling him to Egypt. The treasure is waiting for him. Santiago says goodbye to the crystal merchant, who thanks him for his help. The merchant tells Santiago, "You have taught me something. You have shown me that there is more to life than just surviving. Maybe I should follow my own dreams too." Santiago smiles and waves goodbye, knowing that he has helped the merchant just as the world is helping him. With a new sense of purpose, Santiago begins the next part of his journey, ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. He knows that the treasure is waiting for him, but the journey is just as important as the treasure itself. Part 3: The Soul of the World and New Challenges. Santiago is continuing his journey, leaving behind the crystal shop and the city of Tangier. He has learned important lessons and earned some money to continue to Egypt. Now he is ready to face the challenges that will lead him closer to the treasure that has been calling him. One day, Santiago arrives at a small town and finds a caravan. A caravan is a group of people and animals traveling together, usually through the desert. This particular caravan is going to Egypt, where Santiago believes his treasure is hidden. This is the moment he has been waiting for. He talks to the leader of the caravan, a man who looks wise and experienced. The leader tells Santiago that the desert can be dangerous, but if he joins the caravan, he will be safe. Santiago is excited. He will finally be traveling with other people and moving closer to his goal. As Santiago joins the caravan, he begins to notice something interesting. The desert is not just sand and heat. There is a magic to it. He feels like he is becoming part of the desert, and the desert is becoming part of him. Santiago starts to feel connected to the world in a new way. While traveling with the caravan, Santiago meets a mysterious man who speaks about something very special, the soul of the world. The man explains that everything in the world is connected by this invisible force. The soul of the world is the energy that flows through all living things. It connects people, animals, plants, and even the stars. Santiago is fascinated by this idea. He realizes that the language of the world is not just about dreams and signs, but about understanding the connection between all things. He begins to see the desert not as a lonely, empty place, but as a living, breathing part of the world. He can feel the wind, the sand, and even the sun speaking to him. One day, while resting in the desert, Santiago has a vision of the treasure. In his vision, he sees a big chest filled with gold coins, just as he dreamed. He feels this is the moment he has been waiting for. During his journey, Santiago meets a man who calls himself the Englishman. The Englishman is traveling with a large book in his hand, and he seems very serious and focused. He is searching for an alchemist, a man who can turn metal into gold. Santiago is curious, so he talks to the Englishman. The Englishman tells Santiago that he has been studying the works of the great alchemists for many years. He believes that if he can find the right alchemist, he will be able to learn the secret of turning base metals into gold. Santiago listens carefully, fascinated by the idea of alchemy. He wonders if this is a sign that the treasure he seeks is not just gold, but something even more valuable. The Englishman tells Santiago about a powerful alchemist who lives in the desert, and he believes that the alchemist can help him understand the deeper truths of life. The Englishman offers to teach Santiago about alchemy, but Santiago is still unsure if this is his true path. He continues to listen to the Englishman's lessons, but he also listens to his own heart. As the days pass, Santiago begins to feel nervous. He is deep in the desert, far from his home, and the treasure seems farther away than ever. He starts to feel afraid that his dream was just a dream, afraid that he may never find the treasure. One night, Santiago sits alone by the campfire, thinking deeply about his journey. He remembers what the old king, Melchizedek, told him. When you want something with all your heart, the universe will help you. Santiago decides that he cannot let fear control him. He knows that the treasure is not just something to be found, it is a journey of the heart. Santiago understands that fear is a part of life. We all feel afraid sometimes, but we cannot let fear stop us from following our dreams. Fear is only a test. It teaches us to be strong, to face challenges, and to keep going, even when things seem difficult. After many days of traveling through the harsh desert, the caravan finally reaches an oasis. An oasis is a peaceful place in the desert where water is found. It is a beautiful place, with palm trees, flowing water, and flowers. Santiago feels like he has reached a special place, a place where he can rest and reflect. At the oasis, Santiago meets a beautiful woman named Fatima. She is kind and full of wisdom. Santiago feels a deep connection with her, and they quickly become friends. Fatima tells Santiago that love is one of the most powerful forces in the world. She believes that when two people truly love each other, they become part of the same soul of the world. Santiago is surprised by the strength of his feelings for Fatima. He starts to wonder if he should stay at the oasis with her, but deep down, he knows that his journey is not finished. The treasure still calls to him. But Fatima understands. She tells Santiago that love is not something that holds us back. It is something that helps us move forward. True love encourages us to follow our dreams, even when it is difficult. Love does not mean holding someone back. It means supporting them to be the best version of themselves. Santiago feels inspired by Fatima's words. He realizes that his love for her will not stop him from finding the treasure. In fact, it gives him even more strength to keep going. One day, as Santiago is walking near the oasis, he meets a mysterious man who claims to be an alchemist. The alchemist looks old and wise, and he has a strange, powerful presence. Santiago is immediately interested, knowing that this man is the one he has been searching for. The alchemist tells Santiago that he has been waiting for him. "You are ready," the alchemist says. He gives Santiago a test. "I will take you to the treasure, but first you must learn the final lesson." Santiago is nervous, but he agrees. The alchemist leads him deeper into the desert, where they must face even greater challenges. The desert becomes even more dangerous, but Santiago learns how to trust his instincts and follow the signs of the world. He understands that everything is connected: the wind, the sand, the sun, and his own heart. Part 4. The Journey of Transformation. In this part of the story, Santiago's journey is about to become even more challenging and rewarding. He is going to face some important tests that will help him learn more about himself and the world around him. His journey is no longer just about finding a treasure. It's about discovering the secrets of life and understanding the deeper meaning of everything around him. After meeting the mysterious alchemist, Santiago is excited but nervous. The alchemist tells him that the real treasure he seeks is not just gold or riches, it is something much more important. The alchemist explains that the treasure is hidden deep inside each person's heart, waiting to be discovered. Santiago listens carefully, but he still doesn't completely understand. The alchemist then tells Santiago that he will have to pass several tests to reach the treasure. This journey will not be easy, but it will be the most important one of his life. The first test comes when the alchemist asks Santiago to look into the desert and try to see the hidden signs of the world. Santiago is unsure at first. The desert seems empty, but the alchemist tells him to look with his heart, not just his eyes. When Santiago focuses on his feelings and listens to his heart, he starts to see the world in a new way. The wind, the sand, and even the stars are alive with meaning. He realizes that everything has a purpose. This lesson is powerful. Santiago learns that the world speaks to those who are willing to listen. The alchemist's test is not just about seeing with your eyes. It's about seeing the world through your heart and understanding the deeper meanings behind everything. As they travel through the desert, the alchemist teaches Santiago about the language of the world. This is a special way of understanding the world around us, through feelings, intuition, and signs. The language of the world is not about words. It's about understanding the feelings and energies that connect all things. Santiago is amazed. He starts to understand that everything, every person, every animal, every plant is connected. The desert, the people, the stars, all of them are part of a bigger plan. Santiago feels like he is becoming part of the world in a way he never imagined. The alchemist explains that the soul of the world is the energy that connects everything, and to truly understand life, you must be in harmony with this energy. When you listen to the soul of the world, you can understand the language of the wind, the sun, and the stars. One day, the alchemist and Santiago find themselves facing a group of soldiers who stop them in the desert. The soldiers are suspicious of the alchemist, who looks strange and mysterious. Santiago is scared. What will happen if the soldiers decide to take them prisoner? The alchemist tells Santiago not to worry. He looks at Santiago and says, "You have learned everything you need to know. Now, you must trust yourself." The alchemist then asks Santiago to use his power to turn himself into something else. "Become the wind," he says. "You have learned to understand the language of the world. Now, show them." Santiago is terrified, but he has come this far. He closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, and focuses on the energy of the desert, the wind, the sand, and the sun. Slowly, he begins to feel the wind surrounding him. He becomes part of the wind, part of the desert. He opens his eyes and feels powerful. He is no longer just Santiago, the boy from the village. He is the wind. Santiago does something incredible. He becomes the wind and uses the wind to impress the soldiers. They are amazed and let him and the alchemist go. Santiago has just passed his greatest test yet. He has learned to trust in his own power. As Santiago continues his journey, the alchemist reveals more about the secrets of life. He tells Santiago that the treasure he seeks is not just something that can be found in the physical world. It is also about finding wisdom, love, and happiness in your heart. Santiago learns that life's greatest treasures are not always the ones we can see or touch. The alchemist explains the idea of the elixir of life. The elixir is a special liquid that has the power to turn ordinary metals into gold. But even more importantly, the elixir is a symbol of life's deeper meaning. To create the elixir, you need to learn how to turn your dreams into reality and understand the connections between the soul of the world and your own heart. Santiago realizes that this elixir is not just about wealth. It's about turning your dreams into something real, something valuable. The real treasure is the wisdom and love you find along the way. Finally, Santiago reaches the place where the treasure is buried. But there is one more test he must face. He must dig deep into the ground to uncover the treasure. The place is filled with memories of his journey, the people he met, and the lessons he learned. Part 5. The Realization of the Treasure. As Santiago's journey continues, he has learned so much. He has learned about the language of the world, how to trust his heart, and how to see deeper into the world around him. But there is still one final lesson he needs to learn. The treasure is not just something you find, it is something that grows inside you as you follow your dreams. After all his adventures, Santiago feels like he's come full circle. He's learned many lessons, faced many challenges, and has grown as a person. But even though he has reached the place where he was supposed to find the treasure, he realizes that his journey is not yet over. There's still something important to discover. Santiago sits by a tree, thinking about everything he's learned. He remembers the people he met on his journey, the lessons they taught him, and how he came to trust in the world and his heart. Santiago remembers the crystal merchant, the Englishman, and the alchemist. He remembers the wise words of the people he met and how they helped him realize that the treasure wasn't just a physical object. It was a journey of growth, of learning, and of finding true happiness. As Santiago digs to uncover the treasure, he feels a mix of excitement and doubt. Will it really be there? Is the treasure really waiting for him? Or has he been chasing a dream that will never come true? But as he digs deeper, he realizes something important. It's not about the treasure at all. The treasure is the knowledge, the wisdom, and the strength he gained along the way. The treasure is the person he has become. Santiago now understands that life is about following your dreams, trusting yourself, and believing that the universe will guide you to where you need to be. Santiago's heart is filled with joy and peace. He realizes that he has already found the treasure in his heart. His journey has been the true treasure all along. The people he met, the challenges he faced, the lessons he learned. These are the things that matter the most. And now Santiago knows that the world is full of treasures waiting to be discovered. It's just up to each person to go on their own journey to find them. As Santiago digs one last time, he uncovers a chest filled with gold coins and precious jewels. But the gold is not what excites him. What excites him is the realization that he has learned to follow his heart and trust in his dreams. This is the real treasure. Santiago's story is a journey of self-discovery. He learns that sometimes the things we search for outside of ourselves are already within us. He learns that the world is full of signs and clues, and if we pay attention, we can see the path to our dreams. Santiago has found his treasure, but it's more than just gold. It's the wisdom, the love, and the connection to the world around him. Now that Santiago has found the treasure, he has a choice. He could go back to the place he came from, but he knows that his journey is not over. Santiago knows that he must continue following his heart and seeking new adventures. The treasure is not an end, it is a new beginning. Santiago looks at the horizon where the sun is setting. The world is full of opportunities and adventures waiting for him. He now understands that life is about continuing to dream, continuing to follow your heart, and never giving up on the path you have chosen. Part 6. The Final Lesson. As Santiago sat by the treasure he had found, he realized that it was not the material wealth that made him truly rich. It was the peace and understanding in his heart. He had come all this way to search for treasure, but in the process, he had found something more important. He had found himself. Santiago closed his eyes and thought about his journey. He remembered the day when he had felt lost, unsure if he was on the right path. Each of these moments had been part of the larger picture, leading him to the realization that true wealth comes from within. Santiago's mind went back to the wise words of the alchemist. When you really want something, the whole universe conspires to help you achieve it. These words had guided him through his toughest moments. He had learned to listen to his heart, to follow his dreams, and to trust the journey, even when the road seemed difficult. He thought about the people he loved and the people he would meet in the future. He thought about his family, his friends, and his dreams. He realized that the true treasure was about living fully, about being kind, about being open to the world and the opportunities it brings. Before leaving, Santiago looked at the chest of gold and jewels one last time. He smiled because he knew that the treasure was now just a symbol of everything he had learned. He stood up, ready to leave, and he said to himself, "The treasure is not just something you find. It's something that grows inside of you as you follow your dreams." With that, Santiago walked off into the horizon, ready to embrace whatever came next. He had learned that life is a journey of discovery, and that the most important thing is to never stop searching for your dreams. In the end, Santiago's story is a powerful reminder that the journey is just as important as the destination. It teaches us that we must follow our hearts, trust ourselves, and never give up on our dreams, no matter how hard the road may seem. The treasure we seek is often not what we expect, but something much more valuable: the lessons we learn, the people we meet, and the person we become along the way. This is the final part of The Alchemist, and I hope it inspired and motivated you. Santiago's journey teaches us that the universe is full of opportunities for those who follow their hearts, stay true to their dreams, and never stop learning. Success is not just about achieving goals, it's about the growth, the experiences, and the journey that shapes us into who we are meant to be. If you enjoyed the story and found it helpful, please give it a like and hit the subscribe button to stay updated with more tips and stories.